Today we will talk about the second conditional. And second conditional is all about dreaming, hypothesizing, thinking on what would happen if something else happened. So for example, what would happen if I met Al Pacino in the lift? If I met Al Pacino in the lift, I think I would have some serious conversation there. If I met Al Pacino in the lift, I think I would have some serious conversation there. And what would happen if I won a lottery? If I won a lottery, I think I would travel a lot. And I think I would invest some money into my future and I would share some with charities. If I won a lottery, I think I would travel a lot. And what would you do if suddenly you got offered an amazing job, but on Siberia? If I got offered an amazing job, but in Siberia, I think I would have a very difficult decision to make. If I got offered an amazing job, but in Siberia, I think I would have a very difficult decision to make. And what would happen if I suddenly found out that I got invited to a big journey around the world? And I think if somebody invited me to go on a big journey around the world, I think I would take it into serious consideration and most possibly travel. If somebody invited me to go on a big journey around the world, I think I would take it into serious consideration and most possibly travel. So as you see, it's all hypothesizing. It's all about, what would happen if. The other side of this conditional is giving advice. I'm not really hot on giving advice. I don't like giving advice as such. But if you want, this is how you're going to do it. So for example, if somebody comes to you and asks you for an advice, you can say, if I were you, I would. For example, if I were you, I would buy this car, not that car. If I were you, I would buy this car, not that car. If I were you, I would go on holiday now, when it's still time, and I wouldn't stay in Poland during autumn. If I were you, I would change the job because you like something different to what you're doing now. And if I were you, I would be very excited about this new adventure. Once again, it's all hypothesizing. It's all, if I were you, it's impossible. I'm not you. It's just an idea that we share with somebody else. And one more thing, what's the difference between the second and the first conditional? So the first conditional is so much more realistic. It's more about the possibility of the plans of the future versus the hypopotentiality of dreams that I might have. So these are two completely different sides of the coin. So talking about first conditional, what we are talking about is things that might happen. Literally, might is the word. So if I see Sarah at the party, I will tell her that you called. Most possibly, I will see Sarah. I am going to the party. I know Sarah. There's a high potentiality that she's going to be there. Second conditional would be different. Would be if I saw Al Pacino at the party, I would get him a drink or I would have a conversation with him. The possibility of me seeing Al Pacino while going to this party is very, very limited. So the first example was more of a plan. This is what I'm planning to do. The second example, it was the second conditional, and it was so much more about, what would happen if something else happened. Another example of that would be, for example, what would you do if some famous director called you and asked you to be a star in a movie? The possibility of that is very, very low. But what will you do if she calls this evening and tells you that you've got the job? There is a high potentiality because I had a job interview today. I know that the lady might call me. She might call me today or might call me tomorrow. So if she calls me today, I really need to think what I will say. So there's a difference between the future plans and what I'm dreaming about and think what it would be nice to have happened. I hope it helps. Take care. Bye.